Do you want to attract customers, increase conversions, or promote a product or service? Then you need an effective landing page. And whether you're an entrepreneur, marketer, or business owner, Elementor Hosting offers the tools you need to build and manage a successful WordPress landing page. Hey there, I'm Aviva from Elementor. In this video, we'll cover the topic of landing pages and build a converting landing page together in about half an hour. And don't worry if you've never built a WordPress website before, or any website for that matter. We'll cover everything step by step. What's a landing page? A question I often hear is, isn't a landing page just a fancy term for the homepage? Actually, it's not. A landing page is a specialized type of one-page website designed with a single focused purpose, such as product sales, event registration, or lead generation. To be effective, all the content on the landing page needs to support this specific goal. In contrast, a homepage is generally the front page of a multi-page website and often has several goals like brand awareness, offering various products or services, and being a resource hub. When visitors complete a desired action, we call it a conversion. Landing pages convert higher than ordinary web pages because they're structured to drive users into the sales funnel. They have clear directions and one specific call to action. Why WordPress? WordPress is the most popular and versatile website building platform, powering around 43% of all websites worldwide. Thanks to its active and supportive global community, WordPress makes a great choice for building a landing page, offering countless ways to extend and customize it with plugins, themes, and templates. More about those later. And since it's open source, you'll have full ownership and control over your content. In this video, we'll be using Elementor Hosting. It's the fastest and safest way to get started building your WordPress landing page. Cost of building a WordPress site. Despite its reputation for being free of charge, building a landing page or a full website with WordPress does come with costs. The WordPress Content Management System, or CMS, is open source and free, but additional services such as a domain name, hosting, templates, a page builder, and some plugins and themes are not. What exactly is hosting? I like to think of hosting like renting space in a building, only instead of a building, it's a digital place for your website's files and media. Many landing page hosting providers charge per visit or interaction on your landing page. So while initial rates may seem affordable, costs can quickly add up with increased traffic. Not only that, they may charge extra for certain features and premium templates. Elementor Hosting includes everything we need to get our landing page off the ground, and it integrates with popular marketing and SEO tools. So we'll have everything we need to run a successful campaign at no extra charge. And we don't need to install anything. Perfect for WordPress beginners. Okay, so what's a theme? Every WordPress website requires a theme, which sets the look and feel of our website. Customizing a theme can be a complex process, but page builders such as Elementor allow us to drag and drop elements to visually design a website without the need to write code. Elementor Pro gives us even more control as it lets us design every part of our landing page, including forms and pop-ups, to name a few. Did I mention that Elementor Hosting also comes with the Elementor Pro Page Builder plugin pre-installed? Great, but what's a plugin? In short, a WordPress plugin expands the capabilities of a WordPress website and adds new features. There are lots of WordPress plugins available to extend your landing page, such as plugins for countdown timers, call to action buttons, and forms, just to name a few. But rather than install a plugin for each of these, the Elementor Pro plugin covers them and more. Having fewer plugins means less time wasted on updating plugins and worrying about plugin compatibility. Elementor Hosting has us covered. All right, now that we know why to use WordPress, we're ready to dive in and start creating our landing page together.
Today we'll build a landing page to sign up for a webinar run by an organization called Brightness Consulting. The goal of the landing page is to gather contact information for a potential client base by offering a helpful webinar and free downloadable ebook to parents. The landing page will include a form to register, information about the event, about the speaker, testimonials, a free ebook download with a second chance to register, and social links. We'll start at the Elementor homepage, click Get Started, and here we're prompted to choose a design kit for our landing page. Here's a one-page design for a tour company landing page. Even though it's a tour company, it might work for our event. Let's check it out and see. First off, we have a sign-up form, followed by a captivating image and tour benefits. Scrolling down, we have other elements like reviews, and here at the bottom of the page, a call to action. I can already envision how we can apply it for our landing page. We can use the form for our visitors to sign up for the webinar, and at the same time collect their contact information to use for future marketing activities, with their consent, of course. We can update some of the other content below with our speaker bio, testimonials, and ebook download. This is the perfect layout to encourage conversion. So let's go ahead and start with this design. We'll click Buy Now and complete our purchase. Look out for your welcome email to get exclusive access to our Elementor Beginnings Facebook group. Click Start Creating Your Website and choose a site name. I'll call mine Brightness, then click Next. Once it's ready, we'll click Let's Go.
This brings us into the Elementor editor, where we'll customize our landing page, including all the images, text, and styling. We'll also edit our site settings, such as the site logo and brand colors and fonts from here. Let's take a quick tour of the Elementor editor.
First, we have the Elementor top bar, which gives us fast access to the settings we use most while working in Elementor. We'll go over the options in the top bar as we progress through our landing page. In the left panel, we have widgets. Widgets are the elements we use to design and build our landing page. On the right, we have the canvas where we'll structure and style our landing page. Floating on top of the canvas here, we have the structure panel. This panel shows us the structure of our website, and we can use it to help better understand the arrangement of elements and organize them on our page. We'll see how to use it later on in the course. For now, click the X to close it.
Let's start customizing our landing page, starting with the site settings, which includes some of our website's base settings, like the site's identifying information and brand settings, including the site logo, colors, and fonts.
Click the Site Settings icon and select Site Identity. Under Site Name, we see the name of our site. We can change it here or leave it as is. Let's change the site description. Next, we'll need to upload a logo and a site favicon, which is the little icon in the Browser tab that helps us identify our site. We'll click Site Logo, which brings us into the Media Library, where we can choose an existing image from our kit or upload a new one. We'll upload our logo, as well as all the image files for our landing page, and the ebook PDF file we'll be offering as a free download. This way, we won't need to upload them one by one. The fastest way to do this is by dragging them into the Media Library. Note that we don't see the PDF here in this preview, but we'll be able to see it later from the WordPress admin. We'll click on our logo, and on the right, we'll add alt text to describe the image. It's a good idea to add alt text to your images, both for search engine optimization, or SEO, and for making your website more accessible. We'll go ahead and click Select. We'll follow the same steps to add our favicon. Next, we can update our kit colors to match our brand identity by changing the kit's preset global colors and typography. I'm choosing a bright, playful palette for my landing page for a cheerful, inviting feel. I'll also add some white, gray, and pastel elements to give the page a modern, clean look. Under System Colors, we'll start with the primary color and click the color swatch to change it. We can use the color picker to pick any color or type in a color hex code. I'll use a bright coral, then a matching gray for the secondary color, a deep brown for the text, and I'll use the same bright coral for the accent. Under Custom Colors, I'll update the background color to a pastel peach and an off-white for the white element. We can switch between the Style Guide preview and our page view to see our changes in real time. Wow, it's already starting to take shape, and we've only just started. We'll switch back to the Style Guide preview to continue with the rest of the global styles. We'll scroll down to Global Fonts, which works similarly to Global Colors, but with typography settings instead. I'll leave the fonts as is for my landing page, but feel free to edit your fonts accordingly. Let's save changes and go back to the editor. Even though we changed the site logo, we still don't see it reflected in the header. So let's click to enter the header and see how we can fix this. We'll click the widget displaying the kit logo, and here we can see it's an image widget, so it's pulling in the image set by the kit. To get it to pull in our site logo, from the left panel, we'll delete the image. We'll click on the barrel icon here for dynamic tags. Select Site Logo, and now our logo dynamically or automatically displays. Let's replace the phone number here with a link to register to take our visitors directly to the form and make our header sticky, which means it will always stay here on top, so our visitors will see it no matter where they are on the page. We'll select the phone number, which is a heading widget, and change the text to Register Now. For the link, we'll start with the pound symbol, or as some people prefer to call it, a hashtag, and type register-form. Don't add any spaces. Copy and paste this link somewhere handy. We'll need it later to connect this link to the form. The elements of our header, in this case the logo and the heading with the link to the form, are held together inside a container, as outlined by this pink line. We can think of containers as structural boxes that hold and organize our website content. Containers can hold widgets and even other containers. We'll select this container by clicking its handle. Now, to make the header sticky, click on the Advanced tab, expand Motion Effects, and for sticky, select Top. Let's test it out by scrolling down the page. The header is sticky, but because it's transparent, it's kind of distracting. Let's improve it by setting it to blur on scroll. We'll go back to the Style tab and click the globe icon to set the color. We'll choose our global color, Kit BG. Then switch on scrolling effects. For the transparency, we'll leave it on Fade In, and then drag the viewport settings all the way to each edge, so they're set to 0 and 100. This applies the effects to the viewport or visible area. We'll set effects relative to entire page.
And now for the blur effect. Elementor has a built-in AI editor which we can try for free. That lets us edit images, generate text, and even generate code. So let's get some help from Elementor AI to generate custom code for the blur effect.
Back in the Advanced tab, scroll down to Custom CSS and click Edit with AI. We'll type a clear prompt. The one I'm trying is add a background blur of 10 pixels and click Generate Code. Now we'll click Insert. I'll include this code in the video description, just in case. Let's see if it works. Perfect. Great, we're done with our header. Let's continue to our page content. Click Edit Page and we'll save the changes we made to our header. Okay, now we can start adding in our own content. We'll select the first heading and change the title. We'll do the same for the second heading. Then align it to the right. Let's create some more space between the two headings. To do this, we'll select the container and set Justify Content to space between. We don't see that change at this preview size, but if we hide the panel to preview the page at its full width, we can see the justification applied. If we hover over the image, we can see this gray icon, which shows that this element is a nested container, which is a container located inside the main container. Select it and click the Style tab. Here we can see that this image is being used as a background image for this container. If there were other elements in this container, the background image would display behind them. But in this case, there aren't any other elements, so the image serves as a visual on its own. Let's change it for our webinar. We'll click on the current image, then we'll select a different one to use here. In the right container, we have the mighty form widget, one of the most valuable landing page assets. But before we edit the form, we'll first change the heading to display details about the webinar, and in Style, we'll choose a color from our palette. And now for the form. The form fields that came with this landing page design are perfect for the webinar signup. Forms with fewer fields that ask only for basic information have the highest rate of submission. We'll just need to add an acceptance field to grant permission for Brightness to send marketing communications.
Many countries have strict laws about collecting data without consent, and we want to avoid falling into these dark and possibly even illegal practices.
we'll click Add Item. For the type, we'll select Acceptance and set Required to Yes. Next, we'll add some padding around the form. Click the Advanced tab. We'll set the right and left padding to 15%. Great, now we'll go back to Content and change the text on the Submit button to Register Now. The most important part of setting up the form is the actions after Submit, which is where we can specify what happens when our visitors send in the form. The default actions are Collect Submissions, where we can see the submitted forms right from the WordPress admin, and Email, where we'll receive an email each time a visitor submits the form on our landing page. We can update the email settings from the Email tab. Elementor Pro comes with complete integration for popular marketing platforms like MailChimp, Drip, and ActiveCampaign, to name a few. Let's see how to add an integration as a new action after submit. For this example, we'll use MailChimp, one of the most popular email marketing platforms. Click the plus icon and select MailChimp. Notice that a new MailChimp dedicated tab with the integration options appears below. We'll expand it, and now we'll click Integrations Settings to connect our MailChimp API key. Paste it in, and click Validate API Key. We'll go back to our landing page. Once we've refreshed the page, we'll see confirmation that our MailChimp API key is connected. We'll select our audience, and now we can add our groups. We'll select one based on our registrant's interest. We also have an option to add tags. In field mapping, we'll match our form fields to our MailChimp audience list columns. And finally, let's connect this form to the register link in the header. To do this, we'll need to refer to the register link we copied earlier. If you forgot to save it, you can go back to the header to copy it again. Then select the Forms container, go to the Advanced tab, and paste the link we copied into the CSS ID field without a pound symbol. Our first part is ready. Let's continue on to the next container.
Marketers commonly use the second part of a landing page to highlight the benefits of the page's offering, which in our case is the webinar. So let's update this part to talk about the webinar.
We'll change the heading text and background image. We'll scroll down and select the first element. Now we can see it's made up of an icon box widget. And just like it, we have 3 more icon box widgets used together to create a 4-column value proposition layout. Our kit designer must have been thinking outside the box, no pun intended, and use this widget in a creative and efficient way to quickly add a heading and text in one widget. We'll paste our heading into the title field and our text into the description. Follow the same steps for the next 3 icon boxes. Next, we'll change all the headings to the same color as the text. Click the Style tab, expand Content, and change the title color. Perfect. To quickly apply this style to the other icon boxes, we'll right-click the icon box and click Copy. Now open the Structure panel by clicking this icon in the top bar. As we mentioned earlier, the Structure panel shows the layout of elements on our site, and here we can see our 4 icon boxes listed. Hold down Command or Control and click each icon box to multi-select them. Now right-click and select Paste Style. And just like that, our settings are applied to each box. We can go ahead and close the Structure panel now.
As is customary for webinar landing page layouts, the third part of the page is where we'll introduce our speaker, Dr. Emily Thompson. Even though this existing design has another intended use, the great thing about kits is that we can use existing layouts and modify them for our needs, rather than start from scratch. So let's see how we can repurpose this part with only a few changes.
We'll start in the right container by updating the text with Dr. Thompson's bio. Then we'll drag in a heading widget and add our title. We'll select the left column. We'll set the minimum height to 65 VH, which stands for viewport height. Then we'll justify the content to end to push the heading down to the bottom of the container. In Style, we'll add a background image of our speaker. Set the position to center. and set the display size to cover. And now let's update the heading text with the speaker's name and change the color for better contrast. We can also add a bit of depth with a text shadow and adjust the opacity for a more subtle effect. Let's hide the panel for a quick preview. Nice. I'll delete the following container since I don't need it for this landing page, but feel free to explore it for your own landing page.
Great. On to the next container. Here we have testimonials with ratings, which we can use to share the experiences of our previous participants. Also known as social proof, it's a great way to provide a sense of credibility.
We'll update the heading, then select the testimonial carousel widget, and we'll paste in our first review. Change the name, and do the same for the remaining slides by expanding and editing each item. Next, we'll add some contrast to the testimonials. Select the nested container and change the background color so the text stands out. Perfect.
The last part of a landing page is traditionally where we have our call to action.
If your landing page is aimed at converting visitors to customers, some ideas to add to your call to action are the countdown widget to create a sense of FOMO or fear of missing out on a promotion, the price table widget to highlight the features or services included in the campaign, and Stripe and PayPal buttons to offer a quick sale without having to set up a full WooCommerce environment just for your campaign.
For this landing page, we'll display the form here again for one last chance to encourage our visitors to fill it out. But I recommend you check out the other widgets and play around with them to see how they can work for other landing pages.
We'll encourage our visitors to sign up for the webinar by offering a free ebook download upon registration. First off, we'll decrease the width of the left container, then set a minimum height. Go ahead and update the background image the same way we did for the previous containers. Now we'll select the right container and increase its width. Let's change the colors to attract more attention, then change the content. Let's delete the button. Now scroll to the top of the page, copy the form, scroll back down, paste it here, and change the colors. Then, under Actions after Submit, click the plus icon and select Pop-up. In the Pop-up tab, set the action to Open Pop-up. We'll click Publish to save our changes and move on to create a pop-up that links to the registration button, where our visitors can download the ebook.
Recall that at the beginning of the course, we uploaded our ebook PDF file. Before we begin working on our pop-up, we'll grab the file link from our media library so we can add it to our download button soon.
Exit to WordPress admin and enter the media library. We'll click on our PDF file and from the right panel, click Copy URL to Clipboard. We'll use it shortly. Time to create the pop-up. Hold down Command or Control-E to open the Finder. Begin typing pop-up and select Add New Pop-up when the option appears. We have several pop-up templates to choose from. This one looks like something we can work with. Click Insert so we can edit it. I went ahead and updated the content and styled it off camera, since we've already covered how to do this earlier in the course. Next, we'll create a download button for our ebook. We'll select the heading widget, and in the link field, paste the complete URL of the ebook PDF file we copied earlier. Then click the gear icon to expand the link options. Select Open in New Window. For the attributes field, type Download, the pipe symbol or vertical bar, and the file name. Great.
Next, we'll add an option for our registrants to add the event to their calendar to give them a convenient way to save and set a reminder for the webinar. This will help make sure they remember to join the webinar and boost attendance.
For this, we'll use the icon list widget. Drag it in and place it between the thank you message and the download link. We'll expand the item and paste in our text. Click the icon preview to search for and choose a new icon, and click Insert. For the link, we'll click the dynamic tags icon, and under Actions, select Contact URL. Click the wrench icon, and for type, select Google Calendar. Now we just need to add in our webinar details. Great. We can also delete the text editor and form widgets since we don't need those here. Now let's rename our pop-up. We'll go to our pop-up settings by clicking the gear icon in the top bar, select General Settings, then edit our pop-up title to something we can easily remember. Time to publish our pop-up. Click Add Condition, and we'll leave it to include the entire site. The form submission will trigger the pop-up, so we can leave the rest of the settings as is. Click Save and Close. From the top bar, click the Page Name dropdown where we have quick access to our most recently edited pages, and select Home. Scroll down to the form we added at the end of our landing page and select it. Expand the pop-up settings and begin typing the name of the pop-up we just created. Select it when it displays. To finish off our landing page, we'll update the footer. Click to enter the footer and save the changes we've just made to our landing page. We'll select the heading widget displaying the copyright information. It's set to display the current date with a custom format showing the year. We'll expand the Advanced tab to change the after text and update it with our own information. Next, we'll update our social icons. We'll expand the first item, which is Instagram, and update it with our Instagram profile link. Do the same for Facebook. We can also remove or change any social icon. To change it, we'll click the icon and search for and choose a new social icon and click Insert. Update the link and click Publish to save our footer changes.
Another great advantage of using a kit is that they already come optimized for responsive viewing. But since we've made a few structural changes to the page, we'll need to preview it to make sure everything looks perfect.
Here in the top bar, we have responsive preview icons. We'll click to enter mobile and start with the header. Let's tweak this layout to add some more space between the elements. Select the container, and we'll justify the content to space between. This adds more space, but now they're a bit too close to the edges. We'll click the Advanced tab and relink the padding so it's added on the right and left sides. Next, click Edit Page, select the second heading, and let's center the alignment. Scrolling through the page, everything looks great, except for this ebook cover. Let's fix it by changing the minimum height from pixels to viewport height and setting a value. 70 VH works here. Perfect. Click Publish. Time to connect our domain and unlock our website to get it ready for our campaign. Click the Elementor menu icon and select Manage this website. This brings us into the Elementor My Account dashboard. The checklist shows that we've already completed 50% of our site setup. Let's continue to connect a domain. If you already have a domain, enter it here. Click Let's Begin. The next screen takes us to a step-by-step guide. We'll need to have our DNS and ANAME records from our domain registrar opened and ready in another tab. Note that registration may take up to 72 hours, but it's usually processed within a few minutes. If you don't have a domain name yet, you can purchase one now. From your website hosting settings at my.elementor.com, click Manage Domains. Click Buy a Domain and enter the domain name you'd like to buy. Time to finish off the checklist. We'll click Turn off Site Lock and unlock site. And now our landing page is live. Let's take a look at it. Here at the top, we have our header with our logo and our button to register. Right below, we have our form, and as we scroll through, our header sticks with us. Next, we have more information about the webinar and the speaker. And if our visitors still aren't convinced, we have our testimonial carousel. And at the end, we have our final push for conversion by offering our visitors a free ebook when they sign up. Let's try it out as a visitor. We'll enter our information, agree to the terms, and click Register Now. Our pop-up opens, confirming our registration. Let's try adding the event to our calendar. Nice. Now let's download the ebook. Great. Our visitor is all set.
We just created a stunning and high-converting landing page with Elementor Hosting. It's a fantastic achievement, and one you can and should share with the world. We experienced the flexibility of WordPress along with the power of Elementor Pro, as we set up our landing page and created a webinar registration experience that will be sure to convince our visitors to sign up. And of course, with Elementor Hosting, we have the convenience of an all-in-one solution, complete with hosting, security, and performance. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about web creation and how to grow your business online. What type of landing page will you create? Let us know in the comments below. Till next time, see you soon, and thanks for watching.